Welcome back to On the Record. We're here at the Tech Data event in, I guess it's not quite sunny, LA, but it's still LA. And I'm here with Tracy Hummel, who is the Senior Vice President, US, and the Controller for Tech Data. A huge title for somebody who looks like you could have been in the industry more than 5 or 6 years. How long have you been with them?
I've been with Tech Data for almost 14 years.
Wow. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And let's start talking about not so much Tech Data, but although we are very thankful that they've given us this space for you to host a channel or Women in the Channel panel. And I hear it went fabulous. Unfortunately, I wasn't in it, which is why I wanted to talk to you, and also because I want to share it with our audience. How did you get involved with this?
Well, essentially, about 2 years ago, Tech Data kicked off a diversity program, and as part of that, obviously, women's diversity is a key component. And so, obviously, today, with the opportunity to have customers and vendors, we also wanted to have a Tech Data representative, and I believe I was selected because I am the top-ranking female at Tech Data. So I was selected to represent Tech Data so that we could spend some time and talk about women and specifically leadership and how we have learned through our experience, and to basically help give back to some other leaders and maybe give them some tips for their future.
You didn't tell me that you were the highest ranking female. You know what, I never even thought about it, which is probably a good thing. Because when I saw it, I guess I should have said, as a man, what? A female controller. And I'm sure you probably get that a lot from different places, or people thinking, okay, well, how did she get up there? So, what are the challenges? Like, let's not even talk about the panel so much. Your challenges as a controller, you're not that, so you have age working against you, good in a good way. You have age working against you. You have the fact that you're a woman working against you. What are those rules?
Yeah, I mean, I certainly am in the IT industry and also in finance, and pretty male-dominated organization, areas, and I certainly have, had challenges in terms of it's a little more difficult for women, I think, to network and get included in certain things. We don't usually get the call to go play golf or whatever. So, so networking and being given opportunities, even though you're a woman. And certainly, I have children, and so there's different family commitments that aren't necessarily the same. Men don't always play the same role at home, although a lot of that's changing. So,
slowly, and nowhere near fast enough. But
no.
I agree it is.
Yeah. So yes, you do see some changes, but it's certainly a challenge to balance family life, work life, and be a woman and work primarily with men. So most of the time on either boards I'm on, or department task forces meetings, etc. A lot of times I may be the only woman in the room, or one of maybe only a couple. So certainly does present some nuances and how you deal with things. So.
When you go out in public and you tell somebody what you're doing, you go to a wedding, sitting beside somebody, and they say, well, what do? And you say, well, I'm the controller of a $24 billion company. They look at you and they go, yeah, right, and I'm the President of the United States.
Well, I actually don't have the whole 24 billion, so I just have the U.S., so I have a little bit less than half of that. But ironically, usually, even in today's environment, when you go to a social event, most of the time they look at the gentleman and say, what do you do? And sort of assume that, the woman stays at home. So it is kind of, people are surprised, and then when I say that I'm a controller, they just assume I must have some little small group. And when I tell them that, I have, the largest country we have, and significant amount of the revenues, and also that I manage 225 people, they're pretty much mouths fall open, so they're kind of shocked.
Yeah, and you can't do. I remember I was the youngest professor in Canada's history, and when I came in on my first my interview, I signed the papers, everything went great, and at the end of it, they turned to me. I was only 24 years old, and they said, "Are you able to grow a beard?" And I go, "Yeah, why?" And they go, "Well, it would probably make it help you when you got out there." No, I said no. I said I won't do it. I said, you don't take me as I am. But it's kind of hard. What do you do? Like put wrinkles on in the middle of the day? Or?
Yeah. Well, I used to really try to conform, and I would find that maybe my style didn't fit in necessarily with how some of the gentlemen behaved, and maybe I was a little more passionate, or my speaking patterns maybe were a little different, how I dealt with things. So
your voice was probably a bit higher.
Yeah, things like that. So I used to try to, sort of fit in and accommodate, and, wear the blue suit all the time and try to, be less emotional and, more, less passion and more serious and stoic. But over time I realized that, trying to be something you're not doesn't make you happy, doesn't make anyone else happy, and it's just a recipe for disaster. So I basically now, I am who I am, and that's part of what's good is diversity, whether it's minority or female, and diverse experiences. That's what we all bring to the table. So I think it's important just to be who you are, and if you work hard and do the right things.
You got the job because of who you are, and then I agree though, I see it so often somebody will come in and try to be somebody else and they're miserable.
Yeah, and it's hard. You have to win people over. When I remember when I first took my job back in the day, and actually a female hired me, and I was straight out of public accounting to come into tech data. What do I know about distribution? And there were people there, why did I get hired, and how long will she last, and all that. So, but you really, once people realize, wow, she does a good job, she knows what she's doing, she's smart, then people, accept you. So, but
the cooler area, like where people go for drinks or whatever, the highest bet was probably 38 days or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
14 years later.
Yeah. So, and women aren't always good about asking for what they want, and we have a tendency to just assume people see we're doing a good job. But certainly when the vice president controller position, which was the position I had before this, opened up, I did put my name in and said yes, I'm interested, and it helps. You have to have the right background on paper, obviously education, CPA, etc. But then at the end of the day, it's all about the work that you do, and you just have to show that. And so.
Well, it's interesting though, because if a man is aggressive, that's considered to be great. If a woman is aggressive, there's that word that starts with a B.
That we can't say on.
But,
yes.
But I mean, where's the difference? Like
I always tell people that, and that it's a fine line, and women who are aggressive and competitive often get labeled with that word that we're not going to use. I kidded earlier that my brand was the Velvet Hammer. You've got to be able to be aggressive and say no and challenge things and what have you, but be able to do it in a personable manner so you don't get that. And it is a fine line, but yes.
So we're now here. Welcome to On the Record. We're here with Tracy, who is the Velvet Hammer. Gotta love that one. Yeah. You think over the time, now I realize it's hard for you to answer this question because you've also gotten more, more people knowing you, and you've made more friends there, and you fit in now a lot different. But do you really think it's getting that much easier in the marketplace for women?
I think it's getting easier. I would say the fact that we're still talking about this and having diversity lunches with women tells you that this nowhere near where it should be. So, or we wouldn't be having the conversation. So, I definitely think it's getting better, but I still think there's some opportunity.
So here's how I'll end this today, if you don't mind, and that is by giving you a sincere offer. The offer is that if we can help you promote it, anything that's got to do with the tech data stuff, maybe we launch your money. But the women, or any diversity stuff, we're definitely willing to talk about it in our publication. We're willing to give you advertising space. It's something that we're really, really sensitive to, and we really believe needs to be addressed a lot more because, well, just because it's the right thing to do. I'm trying to give a why, but that's really the answer. Yeah. And so really, seriously, feel free to reach out anytime, and I will, if you don't get the response you need from our company, I will make sure you do.
Great.
Okay? Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
And enjoy the accounting.
Thank you.
I think the other one's far more fun.
Yeah.